Some say life is a game. Others say life is a test. Some say life is an illusion. But what if life is really whatever you make it out to be? Not just life, but reality itself is at the palm of their hands. It's the battle of the gods, the Rewind Rumble Infinity War, the reality warper free-for-all. I'm your host, Animation Rewind, and these are your reality warpers in no specific order. Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, the one above all, Dr. Fate, Lord English, Ultimate Nullifier Galactus, Doctor Strange, Creative Minecraft Steve, Xenosama, Marissa Kirasame, Archie Sonic, Bobobo, Azriel Dreamer, Beerus, Bill Cipher, Composite Mickey Mouse, Goku, Rosalina, Archie Silver, Master Hand, Cosmo, Disney's Genie, Madoka Kaname, Yukari Yakumo, and Dementio. Today, we find out which warper truly holds the keys to reality. Today, we rewind Rumble.
We've got 24 reality warpers to cover, so instead of a full analysis for each character, we're going to have brief summaries, otherwise we'd be here all day. You can check the links down below for many of these characters' solo episodes. With that being said, let's start off with Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate. Dr. Stephen Strange was once a great neurosurgeon, but after his hands were injured, he was forced to give up that career. In an effort to heal his hands, he trained under being known as the Ancient One, but ended up becoming the new Sorcerer Supreme and one of the multiverse's greatest defenders. How inconvenient is that origin story? Don't you just hate when that happens to you guys? You break your hands and then become a supreme being? Like, what the heck? Speaking of inconveniences, Kent Nelson was just your average kid, but after an accident on an expedition he was on with his father resulting in his dad's death, he came into possession of the legendary helmet of Naboo, turning him into the powerful sorcerer Dr. Fate. Doctor Strange's magical abilities allow him to do almost anything. It's easier to explain what he can't do rather than what he can do. He can fly, create astral projections, warp reality, create portals, create shields, manipulate time, fire energy blasts, and so much more. And he's armed with many powerful artifacts such as the Eye of Agamotto and the Cloak of Levitation. He's kept up with many powerful beings in his day such as Dormammu and has nearly matched the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. This dude is so powerful that the Living Tribunal, one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Omniverse, recognizes his strength as some of the greatest in the multiverse. Fate has many similar abilities: flight, energy projection, time manipulation, reality warping, all that good stuff. He can also access his true Fate form where he becomes powerful enough to easily tear universes apart. Kent's powers may come from the helmet, but he isn't defenseless even if he does lose it. While he's no longer a god without his trusty golden vomit bucket, he still possesses superhuman characteristics and some magical abilities. Next up, we have the Great Purple Devourers, Beerus and Galactus. Of the 12 universes in Dragon Ball, Beerus inhabits the 7th. He is one of the most powerful beings in the 7th universe and has the fitting role of God of Destruction. Galactus, Devourer of Worlds. While he's an iconic character, he hasn't always been the jolly purple giant we've all come to know and love. He was originally known as Galan before a universal plague wiped out his homeworld. Galan was then reincarnated as Galactus and devours planets to satisfy his hunger. This also acts as a way of balancing creation and destruction in the universe. So clearly he's just copying MCU Thanos, but I digress. Or is it vice versa? You decide. Like many other Dragon Ball characters, Beerus can manipulate ki, which allows him to fly, sense the ki of others, and fire energy attacks. But unlike many other Dragon Ball characters, Beerus possesses access to God Ki and energy destruction. God Ki is far more powerful than regular Ki, and it cannot be sensed by mortals. Only other God Ki users can detect the presence of those with godly Ki. And with the energy of destruction, Beerus is able of completely erasing his targets from existence. Beerus is a powerhouse. Saying he can destroy planets with no effort would be a horrific downplay. He's usually kept up with Goku in his god form, and their battles shook and nearly destroyed the universe. He casually kept up with a mastered Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and one-shot him the moment he felt like trying. He even kept up with every other god of destruction in a battle royale and was one of the last ones standing, even when everyone else instinctually targeted him first. Galactus has his fair share of tricks too. He is in possession of two of the greatest weapons in the Marvel universe, the Power Cosmic and the ultimate nullifier. The power cosmic is what gives Galactus his power. He can use it to fire energy blasts, absorb energy, warp reality, and even grant some of his power to others. The ultimate nullifier is one of the most powerful and destructive weapons in Marvel history. It can erase universes on a whim, erase targets from existence, and its sheer power is even powerful enough to obliterate Galactus himself. Galactus possesses incredible power, easily being able to devour entire planets itself in his weakest state. His heralds, whose powers don't even remotely compare to him, can casually cross galaxies and survive supernovas. He's even defeated some of the Avengers' mightiest opponents, such as Ultron and base form Thanos in the past. Moving on, we have the idiot gag characters Cosmo and Bobobo. Cosmo is a fairy and such possesses a magical wand and is capable of nearly any wish. Its power and reality bending abilities are limited only to the rules, and of course there is a limited power supply. The wand may not be able to instantly kill anyone as the rules of the wand prevent it from doing so, but it still can put people in situations where they can die, though Cosmo's low intelligence would hinder him from thinking of a way to use the wand to put an opponent in a situation like that. Bobobo is exactly who you should think of when the topic of overpowered anime characters are brought up. He may not be the smartest, but he has plenty of abilities that make him a force to be reckoned with. Bobobo's main goal in life is to defeat the hair hunters and prevent anyone from going bald, so he fittingly fights with his own hair, which he thankfully only uses the hair that's on his head or face. His most iconic attack is the Super Fist of the Nose Hair, in which he can extend his nose hairs to attack enemies. He can either whip them or tie them up, and these are some pretty powerful hairs as they've been able to restrain gods. He also has his afro, which acts as a portal into other anime universes, in which he can summon characters such as Yugi. The dude can even turn Super Saiyan, and if that wasn't enough, Bobo is a logic-breaking reality warper who can make up new abilities on the fly whenever he feels like it. Next up, we have the powerful gloved gods, Thanos and Master Hand. Thanos is an Eternal with a love for the physical embodiment of death. As an Eternal, he possesses superhuman physical characteristics, telepathic abilities, and highly versatile energy manipulation. He has demonstrated the ability to project energy as a concussive force, gamma radiation bursts, infrared heat beams, and disruptor beams, as well as a form of force field shields. But all of that is nothing in comparison to his ultimate weapon, the Thanos Copter. Oh, well, there's another minor thing worth bringing up. I believe it's called the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm reading if that's correct. Supposedly it has 6 stones that grant him manipulation of space, time, souls, mind, reality, and near unlimited power. I don't know, the Thanos Copter is clearly what's worth talking about here. In the Super Smash Bros. Universe, Master Hand acts as the creator and ultimate end boss of the entire series. Or at least he was until Taboo straight up killed him without breaking a sweat. And then Ultimate came out with Galeem commanding hundreds of versions of him, as well as one-shotting Taboo, shown by the fact that there's a Taboo spirit in the game, but let's not worry about that. Master Hand has many powerful attacks up his sleeve. He can fire bullets from his fingers, conjure blobs of ink, throw rings at his enemies, lift them when playing cards, stun foes by snapping his fingers, and so much more. And then there's his Master Core form, where he can take on many other appearances such as a set of swords, a giant beast, a giant golem, and the Master Fortress. Thanos is one of the most powerful mortals in all of Marvel. Anyone who can easily smack around the Incredible Hulk is clearly a force to be reckoned with. He can also easily keep up with a Silver Surfer who can cross galaxies in moments, and with his little glove, he gains powers nearly unmatched. The Gauntlet is more than capable of easily wiping out universes on a whim. Thanos wiped out half of all life by snapping his fingers with the Gauntlet, and even an incomplete Gauntlet could overpower the ultimate nullifier. Master Hand certainly earns his title as one of the strongest in his verse as well, easily being able to keep up with the Smash Cast and Crazy Hand. He can fly across solar systems in seconds, making him MFTL plus, and being the creator of the Smash universe easily puts him on a universal level. Moving on, we have Archie Sonic and Lord English. Archie Sonic is a completely different incarnation of Sonic compared to the one we'd be most familiar with. He is far stronger than Game Sonic, but nowhere near on the level of Paramount Studios' live-action Sonic. Sonic's whole shtick is his super speed, but that's not all he's got up his sleeve. He has superhuman strength and durability on top of that. He also has many techniques, such as his spin dash and homing attack, to add extra variety to his fighting style. But Sonic isn't just restricted to his base form. By harnessing the power of the Chaos Emeralds, he can become supersonic, giving him the power of flight, near invulnerability, and even faster speeds than he can already reach in his base form. There's also his strongest form, ultrasonic. While Sonic doesn't have full mastery over this form, it gives him power far beyond his super state, as well as the ability to rewrite atoms on a molecular level. Lord English is the big bad villain of Homestruck, but he didn't start out that way. He was once just a child named Caliborn. After killing his sister and conquering his session, Caliborn obtained virtually unlimited power and unconditional immortality by clearing a dead session of the game. English owns a Cario overcoat that represents the space-time continuum and gets damaged when time-related things get out of hand. The Cario overcoat can turn into an Egyptian sarcophagus, which English can entomb himself in order to travel throughout space and time once inside a universe. More recently, English has been shown to have in his possession a golden scepter, atop of which is an orb glowing with multiple colors that possibly represents the green sun. This scepter seemingly demonstrates a more controlled form of weapon/object duality, as it has been shown to morph into a golden assault rifle. Archie Sonic is far more broken and overpowered than Game Sonic could ever dream of being. Just in his base form alone, he was able to grab some water, shape it into a ball, and throw it at his target in under a trillionth of a second. This was calculated back in Paper Mario vs. Archie Sonic to be over 1 billion times faster than light. He survived blasts that knocked him light years away without any super forms, and with his ultrasonic form, Archie Sonic becomes powerful enough to warp an entire dimensional matrix. If we're lucky, they'll give this Sonic his own separate live-action movie adaptation so that Paramount can hit it out of the park a second time. From one pair with a Sonic character to the next, let's discuss the space-time rivalry of Archie Silver and Rosalina. Silver is an ally of Sonic, and while he may not be quite as fast as Sonic, he makes up for it with his telekinetic abilities. Much like Sonic, Silver can also tap into the Chaos Emeralds and has access to his super form, and much like Archie Sonic, he possesses far greater stats than his video game counterpart. Rosalina is a traveler of the cosmos, mother figure of the Lumas, and the pilot of the Comet Observatory. Rosalina helped Mario rescue Peach from Bowser's clutches, but only in terms of traveling. She doesn't really do much throughout the game. That is until the very end, where she protects Mario from a universe-destroying blast. She then proceeds to just reset the whole universe because why not? Rosalina can also easily scale to the speed of the Lumas, who cross interstellar distances in no time at all. Moving on, we have the blank slates with equal amounts of character development, Son Goku and Minecraft Steve. Goku is a Saiyan from the planet Vegeta who was sent to Earth in order to escape its destruction. It was on Earth where he grew up and learned to grow stronger over the course of his life. Like many other Dragon Ball characters, Discount Superman can manipulate ki in order to fly, sense energy and fire energy blasts. Goku has many different forms and can use it to amplify his power. He has Super Saiyan 1 through 3, Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan Blue to amp himself up with God Ki, and the Kaioken, which he can multiply his power at the cost of putting immense strain on his body. He can also tap into Ultra Instinct in order to move without thinking. Minecraft Steve may not look like much of a fighter, but this dude has plenty of power hidden up his sleeves. His arsenal is vast, containing swords, armor, axes, bows, arrows, potions, TNT, and of course, egg. He has ender pearls that teleport him to wherever they're thrown, buckets that he can fill with lava to pour around him, and he can use many materials like wood, stone, iron, gold, and diamond to craft anything he may need in battle. But he hardly needs to craft anything, as he has full access to his creative mode, giving him the ability to fly, instantly materialize any item in the Minecraft world, and complete immunity to almost any form of damage. But Steve's strongest weapon is the command block, which can alter reality according to whatever he types into it. Goku has achieved many feats in his life. In his first battle as the newly unlocked Super Saiyan God form, he fought the God of Destruction Beerus, shaking the universe and nearly destroying it in the process. With the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, he fought against the time-manipulating assassin Hit, and when he first unlocked Ultra Instinct Omen, he shook the infinite world of Void and fought against the most powerful mortal in the universe, Jiren the Grey, and even went toe-to-toe with him after mastering the Ultra Instinct form. Steve can take on many mobs in the Minecraft world, from low-tier fodder like zombies and creepers up to powerhouses like the Ender Dragon and the Wither. And with creative mode, these powerful beasts can't even harm him. One of Steve's greatest attributes is his insane lifting strength. Even without creative mode, he can fill his inventory with roughly 4.4 billion pounds worth of gold blocks without it ever slowing him down. Next up, we have Disney's two iconic powerhouses, the Genie of the Lamp and Mickey Mouse. Now, I have to make it clear that we're not using Will Smith Genie from the live-action remake. He's far too powerful and it wouldn't be fair to include him in. But what about the classic animated Genie? Well, he definitely has a lot of crazy abilities thanks to his magical powers. He can conjure, destroy, and alter anything he wants or anything his master wishes him to do. The only limitations of his magic are that he can't directly kill with it, he can't make people fall in love, and he can't revive the dead without turning the corpses into zombies. Mickey Mouse has been the icon of Disney for many decades, and of course, any character that has been around for so long is bound to have some crazy weapons, abilities, and skills. Mickey's arsenal contains some powerful weapons. With his paintbrush, he has access to the blue paint and the green thinner, which allow him to dissolve his enemies or make them fight for him. And with his sorcerer's hat, he gains access to great magical powers. And like most cartoon characters, Mickey possesses a level of Toon Force that allows him to take severe injuries and recover quickly from them. The Genie is incredibly powerful, being able to hold the Earth in his hand and put his face on Saturn and the Sun. He's expanded into space before and is comparable to the likes of Jafar and Goblin Aziz, the latter of which turned into 3 stars upon being defeated. Mickey has some good stats backing him up as well. He's fast enough to dodge lasers, strong enough to topple giants, and can exit the animation and manipulate animation frames. And he becomes all the more powerful and hacksy with his sorcerer's hat. Moving on, let's discuss the two flying lolies that shoot light at each other to make patterns. Yes, it's Marissa Karasame and Yukari Yakumo. Marissa is a human, which, unique to her kind, no human has meant to be a magician. Only yokai are fit to learn magic, which shows Marissa's capabilities power-wise and intelligence-wise. She's also kind of a kleptomaniac. The majority of her spell cards are stolen, and even her most iconic attack, the Master Spark, is stolen from Yuka. Marissa's been in countless amounts of battles, incidents, and has solved the majority of them. Has years of experience dealing with yokai, Ani, hermits, celestials, demigods, and even gods, all thanks to her skills in Denmaku battles, in which she can perform magic, fly, shoot a giant laser that covers 85% of the screen, and it's so annoying to dodge. She uses flashlights to literally get rid of people's willpower, somehow, and much more. For a little girl, she's also exceedingly fast, being able to both travel, fight, and react at MFTL plus speeds. However, she's rather reckless from time to time, and usually underestimates her opponents. Yukari Yakumo is the yokai of boundaries. The word Yakumo means countless clouds. Yukari means violet. Her name can also mean boundaries. This is important because violet is the highest of lights in the visible spectrum. Violet light is also the boundary between visible light and non-visible light. This is quite symbolic, as she is one of the most powerful beings in the Toho verse. So powerful, in fact, she is a Shikigami, which itself has its own Shikigami, and she's one of the few known sages that created the Gensokyo in its entirety. For those who don't know what a Shikigami is a term used for the summoned spirits of a Japanese sorcerer. Shikigami are used to protect and serve their master, much like the Western concept of a witch is familiar. The Gensokyo, aka the Land of Illusions or Land of Fantasy, is the fictional land in which the entire Toho project takes place. As her name implies, she has the capacity to manipulate every boundary that exists, and this comes in handy considering every aspect of reality has a boundary. In fact, without Yukari maintaining the balance between everything and reality, everything would fuse and become one big pile of messy goo, with ice being hot, dead people being alive, fast people being slow, the sun rising at night, inside being outside, and etc. She is still outclassed by some gods within the Gensokyo, but in terms of yokai, she is the most powerful one. She's also incredibly intelligent, especially in math, being able to formulate thousands of incognita in a second. Regardless of her power, Yukari appears to be the most well-informed being in the Gensokyo of any kind, and usually achieves her goal through manipulating events rather than direct combat. One of her biggest drawbacks is her lack of motivation from time to time. Yukari can be quite lazy, loves to sleep, and rarely takes fights seriously, and she's even technically vulnerable to some types of spiritual damage. Dimentio is the end boss of Super Paper Mario. He takes up the role after overthrowing Count Black. Dimentio can fly, teleport, create force fields, turn invisible, create clones of himself, mind control people, and much more. He can also become Super Dimentio if his base form isn't packing enough of a punch to get the job done. Madoka Kaname is the main protagonist of the Magi Madoka series. She is a shy and kind girl who cares deeply for her friends but has a low self-confidence, as you'd expect from an anime protagonist. Anyways, to not extend this too much and summarize, Madoka wished to end all magical girls before they became witches. With this, she became a goddess, which exists outside of reality, and at every point in the infinite multiverse, in order to end all witches, every trace of her perceivingly existing was permanently erased from everything, and she became a literal embodied concept. Dimentio is one of Mario's strongest villains. In his base form, he one-shot Paper Luigi, and in his super form, he was able to take on Paper Mario, Bowser, and Peach all at once. It took the power of the pure hearts to finally allow Mario and his friends to put an end to him. Our penultimate pair of powerful fighters are the supreme beings of the respected multiverses, Xeno and the One Above All. Xeno is the most powerful being in the Dragon Ball multiverse. No mortal god or angel even reaches close to his insane level of power. He may look like a powerless child, but by closing his hand, he can effortlessly destroy entire universes, timelines, and annihilate gods of destruction with zero difficulty. And Xeno doesn't just kill his opponents, he has the ability to erase them from existence entirely. The only thing working against him is that he is in no way a fighter, in the sense that he had no fighting style or notable combat experience to speak of. Since he's so powerful, it's really hard to practice, but it's not like he needs it when he can obliterate any foe in an instant. The One Above All is the monotheistic supreme god of the Marvel multiverse and the sole master of the Cosmic Overseer. The Cosmic Overseer in question is the Living Tribunal. So when you're the guy who tells the Living Tribunal what to do, then there really isn't any better way to describe just how powerful and unstoppable you are, that being the One Above All. The One Above All created the Marvel multiverse itself, and in the beginning of creation, he created the Living Tribunal to oversee the multiverse and act as its sole highest authority. The One Above All can take many forms, and his favorite form is the human by the name of Stanley Martin Lieber, aka Stan Lee. You thought all those cameos were just for fun, huh? Well, rumor has it that Stan Lee is in fact the One Above All, and he is hanging out in each and every corner of the multiverse, because if he didn't do that, then he wouldn't be truly omnipresent, which the One Above All is. And last but certainly not least is the pair that started it all, the most infamous rivalry in Cartoon Fight Club's 4-year history, Bill Cipher and Azrael Dreamer. Of course, as we all know, Bill Cipher is the reality warping meat Dorito who has traveled across all dimensions and now resides in the fourth. Bill's ultimate goal in Gravity Falls was to unleash Weirdmageddon, and he only failed because he got outsmarted. No character in Gravity Falls is even remotely close to the physical threat to the power Bill possesses. Bill's reality warping is unmatched, and he wears that on his sleeve, constantly showing the power he possesses by unleashing his weirdness all over Gravity Falls. Bill can destroy or alter reality, pretty much anything he wants, and if he takes damage, he can easily regenerate from it. Azrael is the son of Toriel and Asgore Dreamer. He was killed by humans, but eventually brought back as a flower known as Flowey. After Flowey gained the power of the human souls, he was able to turn back into Azrael with much greater power than before. Azrael tends to fight in his God of Hyperdeath form. In this form, he has many attacks he can use. He can summon his Chaos Sabers, which are 2 giant swords he can use to slash at his enemies. His Star Blazer summons a bunch of stars that damage opponents on contact. He can summon lightning fire lasers and can use his Hyper Gunner, which destroys entire timelines. Bill Cipher is truly a force to be reckoned with. With a single blast from his finger, he obliterated the Time Baby and a squad of Time Police officers. He is a threat to every entity in the Infinite Gravity Falls multiverse, and the crack in reality he created when entering the physical world threatened to destroy the fabric of existence. He's even defeated Sans Undertale not just once, but technically 1.5 times on CFC. With Bill's immense power and regenerative capabilities, he sounds impossible to take down, but taking him down isn't as impossible as it seems. Bill isn't omnipotent and can still be overpowered by some warpers strong enough, and if he's put into someone's mind and erased, he'll be game ended. Azrael is one of the strongest powerhouses in all of Undertale. His stats dwarf that of the timeline busting Omega Flowey by an infinite amount, and if he needs even more power, he can transform into his Angel of Death state, which dwarfs his God of Hyperdeath form. Azrael seems unbeatable when you fight him, especially considering he can tank attacks from Frisk without a scratch, but anyone with enough power can still take him down. Not to mention, he's still a child and lacks tons of experience. And through rationality, you can depower him back to his base form. So that was your roster. Now let's get ready to see which of these reality warpers will win this ultimate showdown. It's time to rewind Rumble.
And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is no prep time. Let the battle begin!
Hola, I'm Dora, and I need your help.
Are you talking to me?
Hola, I'm Dora, and I need your help.
Are you talking to me?
I need you to delete Bill Cipher. Baral Bill Cipher. Can you say Baral? Can you say Baral?
You need me to cheat and win the fight for you? What makes you think I'm gonna listen to you?
Don't play stupid. This is a pre-recorded video and we all know how this ends. It's only a matter of time until this deed is done.
Huh. She's kinda right. Besides, when's the last time Dora's asked the audience and didn't get her way?
Don't you dare do this! You will regret this animation rewind if you go through with this! Just wait until the reality warping free-for-all. I will get my revenge on you!
Where am I? I feel so powerless and dizzy. Oh, that's right. I'm still in the trash. If that fool Animation Rewind thinks he can keep me here, he's surely mistaken. All I need is a pathway back into the fictional multiverse. Being here in the Outerverse makes me nearly powerless. I need to find a way out. Oy, 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 there's so much trash in here. There must be at least one file with a direct path into the third dimension of the fictional multiverse. Huh? Is my eye playing tricks on me, or am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? This is that original Azrael battle that caused all this mess in the first place. But why would Animation Rewind delete this? Is he purposely baiting me, or is he just some fat, incompetent buffoon? You know what? He might be both, but the important thing is, if I enter this file, I'll lose that battle again. However, this may be my only way back into the fictional multiverse. All these other files are worthless memes. It's going to hurt, but I have no choice.
Aha! I've got it!
That meat Dorito is finally gone. Hopefully he'll learn his lesson and decides never to mock anyone more powerful than him. It would be a real shame if the first thing he does after this battle is to start trouble with the one above all, because situational irony is a really lazy way to start off a video. No writer is that incompetent, I think.
There is a wide, yawning black infinity. In every direction, the extension is endless. The sensation of depth is overwhelming. The darkness is immortal. Where light exists, it is pure, blazing, fierce. But light exists almost nowhere. This, however, is by design. There are no extra pieces in the universe. Everyone is here because he or she has a place to fill, and every piece must fit itself into the big jigsaw puzzle.
Hey, Mr. iPhone Head! Do you have the latest installment of iOS Update 2.0? The one where you stop crying about sad, phony poetry into the universe?
What? Why, you foolish pyramid scheme. If you are failing to understand my words of wisdom, how about I show you a reality in which you are nothing more than a mere product of monetary retail?
Wait, no!
When you wish upon us.
Listen up! Times are tough these days, and I need more money, so pay attention.
Wait, what? You gathered all of us here because you, Mickey Mouse, the richest intellectual property-owning mogul, needs more money?
Don't forget who owns you, Meat Dorito. I own all of you. Every single one of you has signed your soul over to me, and it's legally binding that you shut up and do what I'm about to tell you.
Well, what on earth would you need all of us here to do at this very moment?
everyone in this room is in a decline in the merchandise sales. Even you, Thanos. And you need me more than I need you. You all know what's in that contract. So, I came up with a good idea to test the waters and see who really deserves to stay with the company.
You're not suggesting.
Oh yes, that's exactly what I'm suggesting. Power equals profit. Everyone in this room must prove that they are profitable enough by killing their adversary. And if you don't comply, then try and remember what was in page 8 of your contracts. Ready? Rumble!
It's no use!
Now seems like a good moment to freeze time. This battle is missing something. Oh, that's right. It needs more Bill Ciphers. So at the snap of a finger, that's exactly what I'm going to add. Mini Greg McGivern, Mustache Superman vs. Batman. Go!
I'll make you regret calling me a cat, fool.
Come and try it, kitty.
come to bargain.
Pain's an old friend.
Okay.
Cipher, what is she doing?
I'm not 100% sure, but if I had to guess, it seems like she's tearing apart the space-time continuum and shuffling all universes throughout the multiverse, creating infinite time dilation, destroying the string theory via quantum split.
Say it in English. Lord English only understands English, not geek speak.
She's creating clones of us and sending them to different realities.
Is that bad? I don't understand.
For us, it's really bad. Multiple people are going to die multiple times. For the viewers, if they hate us, this is good. But things might get confusing because the plot doesn't matter. For the animators, I guess this is amazing since anything goes. There's no more rules. Where am I? I feel so powerless and dizzy. Oh, that's right. I'm still in the trash. If that fool Animation Rewind thinks he can keep me here, he's surely mistaken. All I need is a pathway back into the fictional multiverse. Being here in the Outerverse makes me nearly powerless. I need to find a way out. Oy, there's so much trash in here. There must be at least one file with a direct path into the third dimension of a fictional multiverse. Bill Cipher versus Dimentio? Actually, if memory serves me correct, I can enter this file and still survive. Dimentio is weak. Plus, it's not like there was some massive warning telling me not to enter the multiverse, so obviously, nothing can go wrong. Easy as pie. Pizza pie. Now where to next? Come on, universe. Bring me that next battle. Uh-oh. Doctor Strange versus Bill Cipher. That dude would kick my triangular butt. There must be some kind of loophole. Aha! Wait, that's illegal. Since when did I ever care about breaking human laws? That's right, never. I'm Bill Cipher.
The scale between order and chaos is at a balance once more.
Well, that was quite a trick. Perhaps you should surrender.
We'll see what fate has in store for you. Now you face the Sentinel of Magic.
Mystic Sword! Ostor's Better luck to you next. Impossible. Stand and face the Sorcerer Supreme.
This victory was not fate. Upward to the stars!
You stand no chance against magic, my friend.
easy. I'm Sonic! Sonic! Nobody's faster than me! Oh, hello there! Show me what you've got!
Okay. Okay.
Where's this strange energy? Huh?
I am tired of your antics!
It's getting away!
Another thing to add to my weirdness collection.
I am tired of your antics! You have the power of a god and an attitude of a troll!
It's quite strange that I have to end up fighting a mere shape.
Honestly, anything's possible, buddy. You have no idea what I witnessed today. So, mind having a little brawl?
Foolish triangle, my power far exceeds that of what you can comprehend.
Impressive skills, I must say.
Who would have known a little triangle would possess such power? Hand over the pudding cup, and nobody gets hurt!
I'd like to see you try, kitty cat. This looks like the perfect place to start my... Well, that was better than expected. Of course, it's never that easy. If this turns out to be Sans again, I'm going to be so pissed. Alright, what's your backstory, weirdo?
Super Fist of the Nose! This is Grand Explosion!
Time to die, Afro Man.
The name's Bobo 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 Bo, or just Bobo Bo for short. super fist of the nose hair! Little chicken dinner!
Who are you?
You know exactly who I am. You destroyed my car, chasing some fat dude in a red suit.
Oh, do you know where he ran off to? Hey lady, you're going down!
I'd like to see you try, puny rat. You should know better than to just run up and attack me. Never mess with me.
Do you finite beings really think you can defeat me? The known is finite, the unknown, infinite. Intellectually, you stand on an islet in the midst of an illimitable ocean of inexplicability. By this alone, you have no hope for recovery of my power.
It's not over. Six. Reality. Pray. Comes distress. Thanos reigns. Over.
Excelsior!
Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. If there is a meaning in life at all, then there must be a meaning in suffering. Suffering is an ineradicable part of life, even as fate and death. Without suffering and death, life cannot be complete. I may have eradicated any spirit worth a challenge to my power, but who is actually suffering? Them or me?
Knockout!
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that animation, and this thing could have not been possible without the help of all the amazing people I'm about to list off. I'd like to thank the animators such as BTL Video Productions, Isaac Bode, Naibu, Croy Productions, Omega7321, JC Fan, Zeus Rules, King Ike 75, Sun God, Kiwi Soul, Subiel, Andex125, Kasai, and Gabriel M. I'd like to thank the voice actors, Uncle Al who played Sonic, Sonic Luke as Azriel, Katie Connie Day Johnson as Marissa, Leopold the Brave as Galactus, Zenunaki as the One Above All, Daniel W. as Mickey Mouse, and Shadow Torres as Bobobo and Beerus. I'd like to thank the researchers and scripters, Miss X for helping out with the Toho script/notes, Biff Weed for helping out with the pre-analysis script, Corin O'Keefe, One Punch Bros, BTL Video Productions, Creep Switch, Jedi Bender, and Bowman. And last but not least, I'd like to thank all of you for supporting the entire team throughout this whole first season. All of our Patreon subscribers and viewers, you guys truly mean everything. Thanks again, and hopefully you guys enjoy that post-analysis. The One Above All has put his money where his mouth is. He truly is the one above all in this episode. Now, the best way to break down this post-analysis would be to rank and re-rank the characters based on how well they can reality warp time, space, and finally overall power. Starting off with our first ranking, this section factors in time or the top speed of the characters because some characters can't even warp time, believe it or not. The ranking goes as follows. In first place, we have the One Above All. The One Above All can freeze the entire Omniverse if he wanted to, and as far as speed goes, he is truly omnipresent at all times. Some characters have the ability to be omnipresent whenever they feel like it, but what makes the One Above All unique is that he's always omnipresent no matter when. In second place, we have Lord English. Lord English is literally the Lord of Time. English has the ability to exist simultaneously across all timelines and took control of the MS Paint adventures, allowing him to control the pace of plot. He comes in second place for time/speed, as he can freeze, alter, and change the pace of time for not just one universe, but all timelines in existence. In third place, we have Yukari Yakumo. Yukari is definitely more of a space manipulator, as her control over boundaries are unmatched. That being said, this ability causes great effects on time, since without her keeping balance in reality, time would fall apart and have no laws. She can manipulate the border between day and night at will. Some people can travel through time, as in go to a different time, but Yukari can actually change the time of the universe altogether by shifting its boundary. In fourth place, we have Madoka Kaname. Madoka destroyed the concept of witches in every universe before ascending to a higher level of existence to become a conceptual entity. As a conceptual entity, she stated she can see all of the past and all of the future. In relates to time manipulation, she may not be a classical time manipulator, but as a conceptual entity, she likely would not be affected by anyone's time manipulation other than Yukari, Lord English, and the One Above All. Yukari, since her manipulation directly affects boundaries simultaneously, Lord English, since his time manipulation can affect the Hyperverse via the MS Paint manipulation, and the One Above All, who can also affect the Outroverse, as he holds a direct connection to both the fictional Stan Lee as well as the real Stan Lee writer. Since only these three could likely affect her, she gets the fourth place ranking for time/speed. In 5th place, we have Archie-Sonic. Archie-Sonic can use Chaos Control to freeze time throughout the entire universe. However, he needs to access his super form or tap into Chaos Energy to do so. So he can't freeze time indefinitely or whenever he feels like it, but at his peak, his time abilities are really hard to counter. In 6th place, we have Archie-Silver. Archie-Silver is in a very similar situation to Archie-Sonic, but with slightly less experience and skill, thus giving him 6th place. In 7th place, we have Thanos. Thanos would be ranked higher if his gauntlet worked in other universes, but still, having universal time manipulation for the Marvel Universe is nothing to joke about. Besides, forcing Thanos out of the Marvel Universe will be a challenge that only a few can pull off. In 8th place, we have Doctor Strange. With the Eye of Agamotto, Doctor Strange is in a similar boat as Thanos. In the Marvel Universe, the Time Stone is a force to be reckoned with. Even without the stone, Strange has his own set of time abilities, but these are more so to do with traveling on a personal scale and can manipulate small pockets on his own without the stone. But for the big stuff, he's going to need that Eye of Agamotto. In 9th place, we have Galactus. Galactus' existence bends time, influencing the past, present, and future simultaneously, and is capable of perceiving infinite timelines simultaneously, and even then that's just a fraction of his true perception. With this true perception, he was able to perceive all of eternity. Now, perceiving something and actually going forth with something are two different things, thus giving him 9th place. In 10th place, we have Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate is more of a time traveler than a time stopper. He has the ability to travel both to the past, present, and future, and is able to freeze people in time as well as create a rift in time. He can also artificially age people at will. In 11th place, we have Dimentio. If Dimentio had not been defeated by Mario, he would have destroyed the totality of all worlds, timelines, and possibilities in the Marioverse. Also, in his super form, he would be unaffected by the destruction of all timelines, including the one he originates from. In 12th place, we have Marisa Kirasame. While Marisa can't manipulate time all on her own, she's definitely no Sakia Izioi, but with the Ultramarine Orb Elixir, she can remove any user's impurity of death and allows them to see the immediate future by experiencing it and then reversing time itself. In 13th place, we have Bill Cipher. Bill Cipher was able to one-shot the Time Baby and has been shown to easily time travel and freeze time for short gaps. While he may be able to freeze time indefinitely, we only really see him freeze time for moments. In 14th place, we have Azrael Dreamer. Azrael can easily destroy timelines at will. While destroying a timeline is nothing to scoff at, we haven't seen him be able to actually directly freeze time. However, if he can destroy any given timeline, he may be able to bypass time freezing from other users by manipulating other Undertale characters into resetting his own timeline that got frozen, as we have seen Flowey control other characters from other timelines before. In 15th place, we have Bobobo. If Bobobo wasn't inconsistent or a buffoon, he'd actually be much higher on this list. Bobobo can time travel and manipulate past events via rewriting flashbacks, and technically, he has the ability to create new abilities on the fly, but odds are, he wouldn't be smart enough to figure that out before it's too late. In 16th place, we have Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse can reanimate specific scenes, thus time traveling to do so, and he can technically pause an entire animation. But his inconsistency is what gives him this mid-tier ranking. Mickey's manipulation is very plot specific. Reanimating a specific scene for one specific person is more of his forte, not rewriting the story for an entire universe. In 17th place, we have Creative Minecraft Steve. Creative Minecraft Steve would be able to pause the game in the Minecraft universe, but pausing only affects one creative map, which is like freezing time for one island. This is still powerful, but very easy to bypass. In 18th place, we have Xeno-sama. Xeno-sama can't directly manipulate time, but he is feared by Beerus, who can perform Ultra Instinct, likely meaning that Xeno can either also perform it, or that he has a way to bypass the Ultra Instinct ability. Xeno can also easily destroy universes and even the entire Dragon Ball multiverse if he really wanted to. In 19th place, we have Master Hand. Master Hand hasn't shown the ability to freeze time, but he can slow down or speed up the speed of matches, meaning getting past his time manipulation will be a challenge but not impossible or improbable. In 20th place, we have Rosalina. Rosalina can reset the entire universe, resetting time along with with it, and she can reset the universe to start at a specific point in time. When she reset the Mario universe, she didn't start at the prehistoric age or at the Big Bang. She restarted it near present day, right before Bowser did his shenanigans. In 21st place, we have Cosmo. Cosmo likely could wish for time to be frozen, but doing so, he has to make sure he doesn't indirectly break any fairy rules, and he would also have to worry about preserving his limited wand power before needing to recharge. In 22nd place, we have Genie. The Aladdin story likely takes place hundreds of years in the past, so Genie knowing about modern places in human history such as Disney and modern people such as Elvis, it is likely that Genie has the ability to time travel. Genie's ranking is quite low since he also has many rules that truly limit what he can do. In 23rd place, we have Beerus. While Beerus can't directly affect time, he knows the Ultra Instinct technique, which can bypass time freezing abilities, allowing Beerus to move even if time is frozen. And in last place, we have Goku. Goku is in the same spot as Beerus, just at a lesser extent, giving him this ranking. And now it's time we rank characters based off of space manipulation. In first place, we have the One Above All. The One Above All, without question, takes the #1 spot again. He is the creator of the Omniverse and has access to the Outerverse, as he is the embodiment of Stan Lee, both the fictional Stan Lee and the real Outraversal Stan Lee. In second place, we have Yukari. Yukari's ability to manipulate boundaries makes her space manipulation nearly unmatched. Yukari can also control boundaries in more of a general sense, since the nature of all things is defined by its boundaries. For example, a lake can only exist as it is because there's a boundary between it and the atmosphere, the surface of the water itself. Yukari's ability can, in theory, be used to achieve a huge amount of different effects. She has been described to be capable of manipulating the boundary between any and all things. In third place, we have Madoka Kaname. Goddess Madoka has the power to rewrite the concepts in all universes. Rewriting concepts affects all of space. She also has the ability to completely reset the causality of the multiverse, as if former concepts and all related events never existed. Really, only Yukari and the One Above All have a hacks capable of countering this. The One Above All can tap into the Outraverse as Stan Lee, which is something Madoka can't do, and Yukari can manipulate fundamental boundaries, such as the boundaries between truth and falsehood and reality and fantasy. By manipulating the barrier between reality and fantasy, Yukari was able to aid in the construction of the Great Barrier, making Gensokyo distinct from the outside world. This means even as a conceptual entity, Yukari could stay safe within the Gensokyo and never be harmed or forced to leave it, thus giving Madoka third place and Yukari second place. In fourth place, we have Lord English. Lord English is easily a hyperversal level threat. The multiverse of MS Paint Adventures is established to be a string theory held multiverse, which is implied to share Homestruck's continuity as part of the MS Paint Adventures, and Paradox Space transcends and contains all of existence. In fifth place, we have Archie Sonic. With Archie Sonic's Ultra form, he can literally rewrite atoms, making his space manipulation nearly unmatched. Ultra Sonic would be very hard to defeat. The only ways to stop him would be to beat him before he goes Ultra, or have an ability to split the boundaries of atoms such as Yukari, be a conceptual entity such as Madoka, or be Stan Lee as the One Above All. Now, of course, everyone is wondering about that dimensional matrix. This dimensional matrix that Silver warped isn't necessarily 11th dimensional. In order for that to be the case, it needs to have any references to strings or a brain cosmology or anything similar to assume that string theory applies to the verse. But the word dimensional matrix is just too vague to assume that's the case. For all we know, the statement could refer to parallel dimensions rather than spatial ones, or just referring to the 5th dimension, or anything really. But still, being a 5D powerhouse is no joke, and Sonic gets the ranking because of it. In 6th place, we have Archie Silver. Archie Silver doesn't have access to the Ultra form like Sonic, but he is very close to Sonic's level, and at the very least also 5th dimensional via scaling. In 7th place, we have Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate in his True Fate form becomes powerful enough to easily tear universes apart and manage to keep a universe from collapsing with the help of Spectre. In 8th place, we have Bobobo. Thanks to Bobobo's afro, his space manipulation is quite powerful as he can tap into other anime universes and can recreate entire flashback stories with it. His afro also has its own pocket dimension and can change the design of an entire universe on the fly. In 9th place, we have Thanos. Thanos would be much higher on this list if his stones worked outside of the Marvel universe, but in his own universe, his space manipulation is nearly unmatched. With the Space Stone, he has complete control over space flow and the physical state of any type of matter. In 10th place, we have Galactus. Galactus's mere presence bends and reshapes the fabric of space around him. His size also gives him his own gravitational pull, and with the ultimate nullifier, he can completely erase any target from existence. In 11th place, we have Doctor Strange, as he can easily warp the presence of space by altering the flow of gravity and creating portals from very separate parts of the universe. He can alter the location at any given target and use dimensional travel to easily manifest where he wants to be. In 12th place, we have Bill Cipher. With Weirdmageddon, Bill Cipher can unleash a bevy of new laws that affect the current laws of physics for not only time but also space. He can create pocket dimensions that seem like heavenly escapes from reality, but actually are hellish illusions. In 13th place, we have Steve. Creative Minecraft Steve is someone you'd think would have a higher tier of reality warping, but once again, his creative abilities are limited to his own creative universe. However, in his universe, his creative abilities are quite impressive to say the least. In 14th place, we have Marisa Karasame. Marisa can warp space with spell cards. The magic spell Asteroid Belt can split planets' physical matter, and Marisa can alter the effects of physical nature with her barrier creation. In 15th place, we have Mickey Mouse. With the ability to reanimate scenes, Mickey Mouse can warp space to pretty much anything he wants. His ranking is once again mid-tier due to inconsistencies with Toon Force and for how long it takes to animate a specific scene for a specific person. In 16th place, we have Dimentio. Dimentio, much like Azrael, is more of a destroyer, but his variety of abilities are more unique, which is why he is ranked one above him. The biggest difference being Dimentio was hinted to be the creator of the Dark Prognosticus, which granted Count Bleck dark powers capable of destroying his own universe. In 17th place, we have Rosalina. Rosalina can not only survive universal destruction, but she can easily create new universes with the same size, laws, energy level, and power. Rosalina's universal space creation takes a lot of sacrifice though, so it's not something she'd prefer to do any day of the week, thus lowering her overall ranking. In 18th place, we have Azrael. Azrael can easily destroy timelines, but beyond destruction, he is not much of a creator. In 19th place, we have Xenosama. Xenosama is once again more of a destroyer than a creator, but his powers should be nothing to scoff at. He can destroy the DBS multiverse with little effort, but his ranking is low because in terms of reality warping, his abilities are a bit limited. In 20th place, we have Master Hand, the creator of the Smash universe, and his space warping is very creative since he can create entire pocket dimension stages, but his ranking is quite low because his abilities are easily bypassed, and his dominance against the Smash cast isn't exactly unstoppable. In 21st place, we have Genie. Genie is another very creative space warper, but we only really see him affect specific locations, not entire universes. Genie is also limited to a lot of rules. In 22nd place, we have Cosmo. Cosmo, without the creative help of Wanda, or just even without her extra wand power, kinda cuts his abilities in half. Add in the fact that he's not quite the brightest fairy around, along with the rules he's forced to follow, is why his ranking is quite low. In 23rd place, we have Beerus. Beerus' ability to warp space is prevalent with his Akai technique. The power to completely erase someone is dangerous. His ranking is only so low due to how the Hakai factors the grand scheme of changing reality as we know it. For specific targets, reality is completely eradicated, but for the universe, not much will go unchanged. Beerus' low ranking is not a sign of weakness, but a lack of warping variety. And in last place is Goku again, for similar reasons as Beerus, just on a smaller scale. And now for that overall ranking. More than reality warping goes into this ranking. This is the who can kick whose butt ranking, where stuff like skill, intelligence, and overall power come into play. In first place is the one above all. The dude is Stan Lee, an ultraversal, hyperversal god. In second place is Yukari Yakumo. With her boundary hacks, no one outside the one above all would be able to harm her, since she can split the boundary between what is considered fiction and what is considered reality. At second place, Yukari is technically the people's champion, as the one above all getting first place is kinda given, as he is truly unfairly powered. In third place is Madoka Kaname. Madoka as a conceptual entity makes her untouchable to everyone on the list not named the one above all or Yukari, giving her that bronze medal. In fourth place is Lord English. Lord English's ability to control time is unmatched compared to anyone below him. His time hacks affect the entire hyperverse, not just the multiverse. In fifth place is Archie Sonic. Fittingly, Archie Sonic is also 5D, and his ultrasonic hacks can keep him protected from most attacks. In sixth place is Archie Silver. Silver ranks 6 for being near Sonic's power, just with less experience and skill. In seventh place is Thanos. Thanos would be ranked higher if his gauntlet worked outside of the Marvel Universe, but he'd also be ranked lower if getting him outside the universe would be some walk in the park, which it's not. You need a lot of force and effort to make Thanos leave his universe and lose his power. In eighth place is Galactus. Galactus with the ultimate nullifier is quite dangerous. If it was impossible for Galactus to lose possession of the nullifier, he would likely be ranked higher. In ninth place is Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate in his true form is a scary foe to face in battle. His fate is 9th place. In 10th place is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is very similar to Dr. Fate, but ranks one level below him since his time stone is limited to the Marvel Universe and he lacks a counter to the true Fate form. In 11th place is Marisa Kirasame. She comes right down the middle as a Goldilocks type ranking. She's not the best, but she's not the worst. In 12th place is Bobobo. Bobobo with his gold afro also comes right down that Goldilocks middle. Though, if Bobobo was a consistent genius, he'd wrestle for that number 2 ranking, no joke. What puts him so low is the fact that he usually fights with teammates and needs tactical help from them, as he can be tricked into doing very stupid things. Many warpers ranked above him can easily trick him into defeating himself. In 13th place is Mickey Mouse. If Mickey Mouse was more consistent and a faster animator, he would be ranked higher. Manipulating the plot directly is a tough power to bypass, and in a one-on-one fight, this is almost unstoppable. But in a free-for-all circumstance, it would be tough for Mickey to reanimate everyone's futures at one given time. In 14th place is Azrael. Azrael being ranked above Bill is a controversial pick, and explaining why he would take an entire episode's worth to do so. Speaking of which, you can watch the Cartoon Fight Club on that. In 15th place is Bill Cipher. Bill being ranked above Dimentio is also another controversial pick, but there's an entire episode to also explain that one. In 16th place is Dimentio being right under Bill, who is under Azrael, which will cause a debate storm, but again, there are full episodes that share my opinion on this. In 17th place, we have Xeno-sama. To be fair, we don't know Xeno's full potential, but given what we know so far, it is very hard to rank him higher than most traditional reality warpers, since Xeno really only has destroying reality under his belt. That being said, the fact that he is MFTL Plus and multi-universal will put his final ranking above many characters who are way slower and less powerful than him. And while some characters like Cosmo and Genie can technically freeze time, Xeno is so fast, he likely has a counter or the ability to perform the Ultra Instinct, or he would erase them before they fully set up a spell to freeze time. In 18th place, we have Beerus. Beerus is in a similar spot as Xeno, as a multi-universal MFTL Plus powerhouse. And Goku is in a similar spot as Beerus, just on a smaller scale. All the characters below him only have strong universal feats at best, but Goku has strong multi-universal feats, being able to shake the entire world of Void. In 20th place, we have Master Hand. Master Hand is a universal powerhouse, but with a roster like this, being universal won't get you so high on this ranking. In 21st place, we have Rosalina. Rosalina is also a universal powerhouse, but since she's not as fast as Goku with Ultra Instinct, she ranks below him. In 22nd place is Genie. Genie is ranked so low due to all the rules that limit his true magical potential, and if we bloodlust him, we'd have to bloodlust everyone, which could change the entire ranking entirely. In 23rd place is Cosmo. Cosmo is also ranked low due to not only to the fact that there are many rules that limit his power, the Fury ones have limited power that need recharging, and Cosmo usually has Wanda and Poof by his side. In this fight, he's all alone. And in last place, we have Steve. This is a controversial spot to put Steve in dead last, especially since there's no physical way to kill him. The only real way to kill Steve would be to have him delete his own server or have an ability that would totally erase his timeline/universe or data file. Luckily for his competition, many characters on this roster have that ability. Steve, after all, is just a file. But that is not Steve's biggest downfall. If he was faster, he'd likely be unstoppable, because if you want to erase him, you'd at least have to catch him. Luckily for the competition, he is easy to catch. Steve's best speed feats are subsonic at wanked best, and being this slow would be deadly for him in a competition that is littered with FTL and MFTL plus characters. So all in all, the one above all is the one above all for obvious reasons. Shout out to the legend himself, Stan Lee. Hopefully he's resting in paradise. And the people's champion of this episode is Yukari Yakumo, as her boundary manipulation combined with her MFTL plus speed is nearly unmatched to anyone not named the one above all, making the winner of this rumble the one above all and the people's champion Yukari Yakumo. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm quite sorry it took so long to finally put out. Stay tuned for what's in store for Rewind Rumble Season 2. I'm Animation Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.